What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Family Chats, where sports brings the family together. And we have the threesome back again. We've been gone. I was in California last week. Angel was in New Jersey last week. We want to thank special guest Caleb Thomas for holding it down here with Joe last week. He did a fantastic job. For those that tuned in, thanks for tuning in.
Pretty solid fan base last week.
It was pretty solid. Caleb did a great job. But I'd like to welcome Angel back. He was gone for a few weeks, right? 3 weeks?
3 weeks. Yep.
From Jersey. So I'll go into introductions. We'll get Angel's feedback on his trip and what happened, so he can, catch everybody up on how that week went. But my name is Freddie Rivera. I'm the dad and the uncle here on this panel. I got my son Giovanni Rivera here to my left. Say what's up.
What up, Facebook? What up, YouTube? What up, anybody else that will be watching this on Instagram, Snapchat, wherever you're watching it? Appreciate the love. Thanks for tuning in with me last week. Had a great episode. Had a lot of people tuning in. Had a pretty solid fan base. Had the normal fan base. So I'm glad to say that we still had a normal viewing.
It was a good week. I actually tuned in I tuned in and was a fan asking questions live. So I went into where you guys were at and was asking questions and had fun doing it. It was a good show. But we're back, and Angel, you're back in 3 weeks. That's my nephew over there. Say what's up and give everybody some feedback on how your trip to New Jersey went.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back. Long 3 weeks. Still trying to pursue my dreams of playing professional baseball. Had 3 different workouts for 3 different teams. Had some good feedback on the first workout with the Indy team in Indiana called the Evansville Otters. Coach gave me his information, told me to reach out to him soon, and hopefully I hear something back from him. The season doesn't start till May, so still got a little bit until regular season starts in Indy ball. But I had some good feedback from Oakland A's and another team in Staten Island called the Staten Island Ducks. So they are in the Atlantic League, and they got a lot of former major leaguers in that team. So
and those are tell them more about those leagues. Those are semi-pro baseball leagues.
Yeah. So those are like semi-pro baseball leagues. They do play in like minor league stadiums, and they do get very good crowds, 6,000, 7,000 people at them. So it's a good environment. A lot of players who get released from major league affiliate ball clubs end up going there to still play because they could still get picked up by major league organizations. So, hopefully, I had some good feedback, so we'll see what happens.
Good, man. It's good to have you back. I'm glad everything went well. Thanks again for tuning in. We are here on a weekly basis for about an hour and a half, having a good time with the family, just talking sports. So, the big topic right now is the NBA. We were excited a couple weeks ago leading into the NBA playoffs. We couldn't wait for the playoffs to start. We knew this would be one of the best seasons. There was a lot of teams coming to the end of the year getting better. The Sixers, the Celtics, the Raptors, the Cavs, they were all playing well. You got the Bucks with the Greek Freak, so you didn't know what he would do, but he's doing some work. And then in the West, my goodness, you had obviously the Rockets had a fantastic year with Harden. You had Golden State humbling into the playoffs, getting hobbling in a little bit without Curry, but they're stepping it up. Obviously, San Antonio beat them today to stay alive, but obviously it's only a matter of time before they move on. Portland, who was the 3 seed, we thought they would do much better than what they did, but Anthony Davis and the Pelicans, that would be the biggest surprise right now in the start of the playoffs. But who else in the West is playing?
The Jazz.
The Jazz playing very well. Yeah. OKC, they're frustrating OKC. They're up 2-1 and playing very well as a team. So with that, boys, give me your thoughts so far on the beginning of this NBA playoffs.
I mean, it's just been a lot of surprises, a lot of things we didn't really think would happen, like the Rockets losing a game, the Cavs losing a game, the Warriors losing a game, and only one sweep, which is the Pelicans beating the Trailblazers, which no one thought would happen. Obviously, we don't know what to think with the rest of the playoffs, the way it's been going so far with favorites now being questionable as they're losing to teams who don't seem as dominant, like the Warriors and the Rockets and the Cavs, who are obviously down 2-1. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, who are our favorites now? Like, who are our favorites to win that we think can win a championship right now? That is being...
I got it. Hear this out.
Go ahead, Angel. Tell us what you think.
Obviously,
what's happening so far.
Obviously, the best team is not the Rockets.
I agree.
Is not the Rockets.
Not the Rockets in the West.
It's the defending world champs,
Oh,
Golden State. I know they just lost to San Antonio today, but they have yet to have Steph Curry back. Kevin Durant is doing his thing. Klay Thompson is scoring the ball. Draymond is doing his thing. The Warriors bench is contributing on both sides of the court, offense and defense. So they're my favorite still to win the championship this year.
Golden State.
but how would we
But-
compare the Spurs to the Minnesota Timberwolves?
The Timberwolves are better than the Spurs.
Do you believe
Yes.
so?
I believe so.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have way better players. Even though they're the
Yeah.
8th seed, they have way better. Karl-Anthony
Definitely
Towns
agree.
is a beast. Jimmy Butler is a beast. Andrew Wiggins, even though he's not their top option, could still drop 20, 25 points a game. They have the team to
Oh,
beat.
absolutely.
No, probably not the Rockets because they're that good and they're the number 1 seed. They got James Harden, they got Chris Paul. We saw the other day. James Harden was 2 for 18, and the Rockets still won the
Rockets
game.
Still won.
And then he
only if
dropped.
someone that I know had that luxury.
Oh, yeah, we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later.
But I won't be surprised if the Timberwolves take the Rockets to 6-7 games because I think they have that team to at least push them a little harder than the Rockets actually thought.
I mean, we're seeing a Rockets team with Chris Paul, who has never excelled in the playoffs, and James Harden, who has never really excelled by himself either. So, I mean, you put them both together, and you just don't know what you're going to get. Neither of them have either won a championship by themselves or won a championship at all.
There's a lot of pressure on those two
And
guys.
they're really a rookie duo, never been to the playoffs together. I mean, obviously a lot of playoff experience between the both of them, but a lot of failures between both of them as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Paul never even getting out of the Western Conference, never winning the Western Conference Finals. So
There's a lot of pressure on Houston to get to the finals of the West because Harden, obviously, there's a lot of critique on his play in the last several years. As Angel said, my favorite going into the playoffs was Golden State as well. I think they have the most complete team, and that's without Curry. So if Curry comes back and plays in the second round and plays healthy, they just continue to bring players off the bench as they've done the last several years who can start on any team, and that's huge. Now Houston, I agree with Angel. Minnesota's a better team than San Antonio. They have younger talent, and I think they'll continue to grow and get better as the years go on. They're kind of like the Sixers of the West, with a step behind the Sixers, obviously, the way the Sixers are playing. I believe Minnesota's that up-and-coming team in the West with the players they're putting together. But Houston, still iffy on Houston, but they're still, if they catch fire, they still have a complete team. We got to remember that Houston beat Golden State twice this year. That was with a full, healthy Golden State team. And so you can't sleep on Houston. I see John Merklin said he still likes Houston. Who do you guys like? Tell us, your comments on who's your favorite to win the NBA championship. If you have a favorite of the East, West. I saw Ariel. He had put the Sixers. We agree that the Sixers are the team that's, man, now Embiid is back. They were winning without Embiid. They won 16 games in a row without Embiid.
I mean,
It's pretty crazy.
That's pretty sick. Now
they
Embiid
lost-
comes back
lost
and
the Heat
they're not skipping a
at
beat.
home. Yeah, they lost the Heat at home. I'm not really impressed.
They lost one game to
The Heat
at home.
at home.
And you know what happened? Wait, you got a superstar on his last leg that got hot and carried them. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen to a lot of people, right? I mean, look at what happened to Golden State today. They lost to San Antonio. It wasn't at home, but we didn't think they would lose one game to San Antonio. They did. it's not. It's just a blip in the radar. Reality is, I think that's
I'm just not impressed with any team so far coming out of the playoffs, except the Pelicans, because
yeah,
If the
let the Pelicans play like they did let them play like that against Golden State, and it's going to be a 7-game series, and I can't tell you who's going to win.
Listen, Anthony Davis is the best power forward in the league.
Who's going to stop Anthony Davis?
Well, they do have a
They
big
have-
man who can play.
They have Draymond Green, who's very good at defense. He's very physical.
Yeah.
So he might not care if he gets a couple of flagrant fouls in that game. So
As Ariel says, he wished Boogie was healthy because you
that's
said
what
that earlier.
I was
didn't
going
you,
to
Angel?
say. They have the best big man combination in the NBA, maybe even in NBA history. DeMarcus Cousins is the best center in the league. Anthony Davis is the best power forward in the league. At one point, these guys, when they were playing together, even though the team wasn't clicking, winning games as many as they are now, but they were still dropping 25 and 12 rebounds each
Yeah.
when they were both playing with each other. So if they had DeMarcus Cousins the way they're playing right now, I would say they would give Golden State a really big.
I mean, and the big surprise is really Drew Holiday. I mean, averaging 25 and 10, both of them, is kind of insane. I mean, only done before by Kobe, Shaq, and Steph Curry and Durant.
What's that?
25 points at 25 points and shooting 50 field goal
50.
percentage.
In the playoffs?
Two of them.
Or the season?
In
In the
playoffs.
Oh,
In the playoffs. Two in one series to average 25 points per game and shoot 50%. Only done by Steph Curry and Durant,
That's pretty impressive.
Shaq and Kobe. I'm pretty sure the only.
I'm more impressed. I'm more impressed
That's the only
I'm more impressed by Durant and Curry just because they're just shooters. They're outside shooters. You know,
Yeah.
Shaq
They're also-
obviously. Shaq's percentage is always like 60% because he dunked most of the time. So, yeah, you're impressed when shooters average over 50%.
But
They're shooting most of their shots from outside.
Anthony
Anthony
Davis
Davis
can
can shoot the three.
No,
He can
Anthony
shoot
Davis.
from anywhere.
Let me tell
on
you,
the court.
I'm impressed with Anthony Davis and what that team is doing. Drew Holiday?
Mhm.
Man,
And Rajon Rondo was a
Rondo,
huge
let me
part.
tell you, Rondo is experienced. Rondo is no joke, right? He's been there in the playoffs, and he's playing fantastic on that team. That's what happens when you have a point guard who isn't looking to score first, and you got a superstar there he's giving the ball to at the right time. Remember the alley-oop dunks they kept getting? Pick and roll dunk, pick and roll dunk. It was amazing, but they're playing really solid. Now, you're right. I mean, they're scary because they're going to end up playing Golden State next. That's going to be a challenge for Golden State. in
And
the next
Golden
round.
State with a semi-fully hurt Curry is when you got 2 point guards like that coming at him,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be challenging. Ramon, welcome, Ramon. He said Sixers will win. Win 3 games. I mean, not the Sixers. He said the Cavs will win the next 3 games in a row.
The Cavs will win the next game?
Wishful thinking, and he says he's only watching because Angel's back. That's what Ramon said.
Shout out to Ramon.
Shout out to Ramon. But hey, for everybody else who's just tuning in, thanks again for tuning in. Family Chats is what we call this show. And again, we're family talks about sports. So again, my name is Freddie. We got my son Joe, my nephew Angel here. We're talking sports. We're talking NBA playoffs. And here's my question going into this. And again, tell us who you like in the NBA playoffs, East and West. Who you think is going to be making it to the finals? But the big question now is getting into the Cavs being down 2-1 and losing a game at home, and then blowing one on the road that they should have probably made up. That loss at home because. LeBron is LeBron. He's going to continue to be great. The reason they lost the first game at home was he was not assertive early on, and he allowed Indiana to take charge and control the ball. He obviously after the loss came out and scored 16 points in a row because he heard about that. Everybody criticized him.
Ty Lue, it feels like Ty Lue finally coached and told him to do something and told him he needs to come out and be more aggressive, and he finally did.
In that first game, LeBron didn't shoot the ball not once
in the first quarter. Insane. That makes no sense.
How do you do that? How are you the best player on your team and you're passing the ball like you're a point guard and you're 5'6"?
That's the problem.
You are
right
6'8", 278 pounds, whatever you are, solid muscle, drive to the basket and get a foul. Even if you miss your free throws, give your team an opportunity to put points on the board.
I totally agree with that.
I mean, it's facts, but I don't know what goes through LeBron's head and what he thinks, but just watching the game the other night when they lost in the fourth quarter, and you see how many times that he passes the ball when he's when he's backing down the post, and you see his team missing wide open shots. It's like at some point that's got to like change in your mind. You got to be like, okay, they're not clicking. Yeah. I gotta turn it on. I gotta just shoot.
It's true, and John said, tunes in. He says the same thing, right? He says LeBron is a freak of talent, but not a killer in terms of instinct, and that's where he lacks sometimes. And it's true. He has to be smarter. It's okay to pass the ball to your teammates when they're open. It's the right thing to do. But when you're seeing that your team is not knocking down shots, then you have to now take charge and be. This is where
I don't know about smarter.
It's smarter because you have to evaluate your team. Is your team hitting the shots that you're passing to them? You're passing to them. They're open. They're missing. So you have to eventually say, now I have to take over because you're not hitting your shot. Now if they're hitting their shots, keep passing it. It's just normal basketball. As a point guard in nature, you look for the open man, and if they're hitting the shot, now as a point guard, you're saying, you're on. I'm going to keep trying to find you. I'm going to keep trying to find you.
I wouldn't call
when someone is not hitting,
smarter.
Why wouldn't that be
He's the
smart?
smartest player in basketball. I mean, you watch him play. He's
we question that sometimes. No, he's not the smartest player in basketball because if you don't score or you don't shoot in the first quarter of the playoff game at home, and then the next game you come out and score the first 16. What happened in the first game? Did you finally say after that game, after being criticized, oh, I need to take over a little bit more? Well, duh, you're the greatest player. You need to take charge. You take charge early and you take charge late. When the late in the fourth quarter, when it's game time, you need to take over. You need to have this mentality, this killer mentality that I'm going to take over. And there are times, yes, you're going to pass the ball because they're going to double team and triple team. So you give the ball up. And if your team's not making it, now you got to go to the basket and get fouled and get to the line. That's what Jordan did very well during those times. That's what I'm saying. When Jordan was at his best, even when he wasn't shooting well, listen, this is reality. And I'm going to go to your comments. When Jordan wasn't shooting well, and I'm not saying when the team wasn't shooting well, when Jordan's outside shot was not on, what he did very well was go to the basket. And he got fouled, and he got to the line, and he averaged, when he shot, and I looked at this up, when he had his worst shooting percentage games, when he had under 30% shooting, he got to the line and averaged more than 10 free throws, and he still ended up getting 20-plus points a game, even when he had a bad shooting night, because he realized, all right, I'm off, I need to go to the basket.
I forgot, who's Jordan and the Bulls playing this week? Are they already swept?
Let's check with some. Let me get some of these comments here before I let y'all come over. All right, hold on.
I don't remember seeing anything about Jordan this week. I haven't heard nothing about him.
Yeah, so Ramon, we all now know that LeBron is doomed.
He does or doesn't.
All right.
I don't know what that means.
Timmy Simpson, he's setting himself up to leave Cleveland. That's another thought. Is he going to LA? Is he going to Philly? Is he going to Houston?
He's going.
We've had those conversations. Merklin says LeBron wants the ball to score 30, just not to win the game. Do you think Bird and Jordan would pass?
You gotta see more.
Let's see. Pass on those shots. Hello. No. True. Merklin tell us.
I've also never seen LeBron miss never go like 5 for 20, 35 like Kobe
Bryant. I'll go find.
Earlier in his career, when's the last time he did it? When's the last time he done it?
There's
obviously he's gotten smarter and he's got more assists and less freaking 20% field goal nights.
And they're losing more. So who's smarter?
Who's losing more?
Cavs are losing more.
Then when?
They ended up in fourth. They were fourth seed in the East, right? When was the last time they were the fourth seed in the East? Coming into the playoffs.
Last year they weren't first.
They weren't fourth. Honestly, I'm just telling you, the last time they were probably fourth was early in LeBron's career. He's been first or second every year.
Look at the team, and then get back to me and tell me.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Cavs and their team, right? Because we're going to talk about the Cavs and their team. The Cavs come out this year and they play great. They come off to a great start. Cavs were off to a great start. They won. They were like 16-5. They were first in the East. Then all of a sudden they hit this rough bump. What happened? Right? We don't know what happened. I'm just gonna tell you. Well, they hit a rough bump. It had nothing to do with Isaiah Thomas wasn't playing yet. Then your boy gets hurt, right? What's the forward's name? He got hurt for Love got hurt. He was out for a week. So that was a little bit of part of it, but that didn't start the losing streak. Then Isaiah Thomas issue happened. Isaiah Thomas started playing, and they just couldn't click. Now it seemed like they had lost all control, right? Because we were here, you were the one that was saying they need to get rid of everybody. And we were like laughing because we were like, they can't get rid of everybody. But they did. They got rid of everybody. And then they started to play well. They played really well the first few games. They went to Boston, they beat Boston. Went to Oklahoma, they beat Oklahoma. And they weren't close games. Those games, they were not close. And they seemed like they turned it around. Got some new talent, got some new young legs. LeBron was on, they started playing well. Then they regressed again. And that's where I have, it's like, why is it that they can't figure it out?
Because
is it the play? You're saying the players. You also said the coach.
They aren't consistent, and they're never be consistent. And the coach isn't the best coach either now.
But the only common denominator in all this whole season is LeBron.
Yeah, I know. He's been the most consistent. He's correct. He's had the best years
It's sad when we have to see LeBron score 30-plus points just for the team to win. Because he's been dropping over 25 these past 3 playoff games, even though he didn't score in the first quarter of game 1. But then next you know, he scored 40-something a game 2, and they won the game.
3. And they won by 3.
And they won by 3. So doesn't that just tell you how?
I mean, the dude averages 28 points this year, and he's the problem with the team. It makes a lot of sense.
But he was right about LeBron needs to have that killer instinct. He can't be passing the ball to J.R. Smith knowing he's 0 for 7 from the 3-point line, and he's still dishing the ball to him. Screw J.R. Smith if he's 0 for 7. You got to start scoring yourself or rely on somebody else.
Yeah, there comes a time where you just have to be, a little bit selfish.
I mean,
when you got that much talent.
We saw what he did in Game 2, and then we thought he would do it again in Game 3, and he didn't, and he lost. So, I mean...
Yeah. Let's, Brandon Smith, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your comments, guys. He said, this isn't the same Cavs team from the last couple teams, even though they make it through this round. They will get knocked out in the second round. This team just isn't as high caliber as the teams before, which is very true. Not consistent. John LeBron needs a visit from his biochemist, allegedly. But you're right? They aren't playing like the old Cleveland team. A lot of that has to do with, obviously, they don't have Kyrie Irving on this team. And Kyrie Irving, what he did the last few years was he was that other guy that could take over. And Kyrie Irving wasn't afraid of taking over and being selfish and saying, all right, I'm going to take over. I'm going to drive. I'm going to shoot. And then, he gave LeBron a break.
And the other thing the Cavs haven't been doing, and they haven't been playing Tristan Thompson. I mean, I get it.
I
don't know why he's not hurt. He cheated on his pregnant girlfriend, but I don't understand why they're not playing him, as it is hurting them because they're getting kind of...
But you always said Tristan Thompson was...
He's a bum, but he's better than the centers they're playing now.
But you're right. But again, I think LeBron he does have to score, be more assertive. He does have to score probably over 40 points.
Listen, Thompson needs to play. There's no reason why he shouldn't be getting 0 minutes in the game.
Yeah. No, listen, again, I think LeBron, this is where...
So he needs to get minutes. He's the tallest player on the team.
LeBron does have to be very, very assertive. And you can see it already. When he's not, they just aren't playing well and they aren't scoring. So he has to go to the basket more. He has to get to the line. And he can. He's so big. It's easy. It should be easy for him to get to the line.
Tyler needs to get fired.
I think
There's no way.
Tyler's
There's
gone.
no way he's staying next year.
If they don't make it to the finals, Tyler is gone. Maybe even LeBron.
But
they might even keep him if LeBron leaves.
But you guys have said Tyronn Lue is not the coach. LeBron is. But you're blaming Tyronn Lue for...
Listen. Tyronn Lue has the
It's
name.
a problem.
He is the head coach.
It's a problem.
It doesn't matter if
LeBron...
LeBron is that good, he can coach the team. But Tyronn Lue is a coach.
John says he is pretty horrible right now. Hey, Demi,
You just look at the game and you just see that through the whole entire game, they're playing
adjusting.
good in the first quarter, and then the second quarter, and then first half and the second half they go down.
So
it makes no sense how
So you're saying the other team is doing a better job adjusting to?
Yes, the team.
They run plays. I feel like the Cavs don't run any type of play. They just run up the court, and LeBron looks for somebody. If he does it, he runs towards the basket.
They're playing YMCA basketball.
They're playing street ball.
The biggest problem is LeBron is the point guard.
And then they get down 3 points, and J.R. Smith gets
To
a
me,
rebound and shoots
The
it from half
biggest
court.
problem is LeBron is the point guard. The reason why Kyrie Irving left is hurt the Cavs. Because Kyrie Irving was the point guard, but LeBron needed the ball in his hands. The reason why Isaiah Thomas is not there is because LeBron needed the ball in his hands. When ultimately LeBron needed to play off the ball, he still would have the ball a lot. Listen, that's reality. He still would have the ball a lot. Even if he was playing small guard, off guard, shooting guard, he would still have the ball probably just as much. But you can do more with him being off the ball and let a point guard run the team and play off of LeBron. LeBron bringing the ball down now becomes very easy for defenses to defend him.
Because they know what they're going to do. They know what he's going to do. He's either going to drive to the basket or he's going to dish it out to somebody who can't shoot. And it's that simple. When you had somebody like Kyrie Irving who can drive to the basket, he can shoot, he's a great ball handler, and he could finish probably just as well as anybody at the basket, that just takes so much pressure off of LeBron.
It does.
And then once LeBron has the ball, then they look at, well, we can't leave Kyrie open because he could also do the same thing. He could hit the three, or you dish it to him, and he's just going to cross you over and score.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, if the Cavs made 50% of their shots, they would win 130 to 85.
The problem is the Cavs.
They don't hit their
Can't-
shots.
they-
So, all right, here's
They
the
can't hit their
question.
shots, and
Two questions. Ask both of you. Will LeBron get past the Pacers? One. And then two, will LeBron get to the finals in the East this year?
Yes,
Right as of right now. So you say yes and yes. You say
Here's
This is the
Not
best.
too confident.
This is the best thing that could have happened to the Cavs is them struggling in the first round.
that's
here
true.
is
If they get past it.
here's my prediction. The 76ers are going to the NBA Finals.
Ooh. So he does not believe that Cleveland's gonna get to the finals.
I
this
can't.
year.
I don't trust I trust LeBron. I don't trust the rest of the team. That's the problem. LeBron can't do it by himself. Like I said before, he has to score 30 plus a game just so they could win. That's a problem.
It's easy for him.
That's a problem. He can't do it by himself.
Yeah,
This
Carl
team is not
Carl
gonna-
Maldonado from New Jersey says, what's he say here? No other real consistent threat, so he basically has no choice. Talk about LeBron. Ricky Aviles, thanks for tuning in and commenting. Tristan has to play, so he agrees with you. Good rebounder, can protect the paint. John Merklin, good call. Sixers look good and strong. So, again, you guys are tuning in the family chats where the three of us are related. You guys are part of the family because you help us put this show together. So thank you for joining and tuning in and being interactive. We want this to be interactive, not just about us, but throw your comments in. And that's why we ask you guys, do you believe LeBron will get out of this round? Will they beat the Pacers? And then two, will they get to the finals again with LeBron? Giovanni thinks yes and yes. Angel thinks he'll get past this round but won't make it to the finals. He believes the Sixers is the team to beat. I agree, but I also am not sure if he will get past this first round. So I do believe that LeBron will squeak out of it, but I'm not as confident as these guys that he'll get out of this round with the Pacers.
I think he's gonna get out. Like,
There's no doubt.
I don't think he's
There's
lost.
doubt.
LeBron could have been
I don't
down
think he's-
3-0
I
and
don't
been
think
losing by
he's-
20 points in the fourth
I
quarter.
don't
I
think
still would have
he's
said he would have
lost.
got out of the round.
I don't think he's lost in the first round in his career, right?
Never.
No,
So he's not gonna do it this time.
But
He's
listen,
gonna
You
do
don't
it.
think it's the time?
He could have
He'll do
gotten-
it either in the semis
Oh,
or the
Ladipo.
finals or the
Listen,
conference finals.
he could have broken both his legs in game one, and I still would have said he would have gotten to game 4 and won.
It's sad.
Oh man. Okay. So they play tonight. So tonight's a big game for the Cavs, right? I mean, they're in Indianapolis. This is a huge game.
Yeah.
Indianapolis goes up 3-1,
They're not winning.
and this is going to be
They're
tough
not
for
winning.
Cleveland to come back. Now they can because ultimately, think about it. And this is what LeBron's mindset is. So I agree, right? He was down 3-1 to probably the greatest team in the regular season
Ever.
beside the Jordan
No,
Bulls.
the greatest team ever.
No, they're not. They didn't win. The Jordan Bulls were the greatest team ever.
Greatest team ever.
So
No.
the next greatest team ever regular season, the Golden State, they were down 3-1 and came back and won, and that was pretty impressive because they had to win 2 at Golden State. I remember that. That's probably to me LeBron's greatest year and greatest thing he's ever done was that. But he had Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving was a big factor in that. But I give LeBron credit too. We did not think they would come back from 3-1, having to play 2 on the road and win 2 on the road. So that's the most impressive thing I've seen LeBron do. So give him props for that. Ricky Avila says, yep, he has faith in LeBron as well, but it's going to be a struggle, not an easy way through this year, unlike other years. Very true.
And just think about how they lost last game. Bogdanovich scores 30 points, makes 4 threes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Just think, how many times is he going to be able to do that in the rest of the series?
And it's amazing. We're seeing, you know what, in the playoffs, you're seeing a lot of players like that are just stepping up and having good games. You know, Rubio from Utah yesterday had a great triple-double, and so let's talk about let's move it
that shit down.
This is a PG. This is a PG show.
That was just
That's a 25.
But that was a quote from Russell Westbrook. He's pretty disappointed.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Russell Westbrook is pretty frustrated with Rubio and that triple double he had yesterday. But yeah, Westbrook is not.
I love how he says he's going to shut him down, but he had the whole game to shut him down last game.
Yeah. We'll see. That's going to be motivation for Utah, I'll tell you that. Just
He
as much as
scores
it
4
is.
points in the fourth quarter when Donovan Mitchell scores 23. I mean,
Utah's playing well. Westbrook. Yeah. Russell Westbrook.
at this point, it's like you need to stop talking. You need to play. It's the playoffs. You, Paul George, can't
No
score.
more time for talking.
You can't score what 20 points in the fourth quarter.
Love the playoffs right now. Celtics and Bucks tied at 2. Great game today with the Bucks and the Freak tapping one in late to give the Bucks the lead. The Bucks blew. They had like a 17-point lead. The Celtics came back to tie, but the Bucks get through that series that we believe. You believe going 7?
The Bucks, I believe it's going to go 6 or 7.
6 or 7 with the Celtics
I
winning.
think the Celtics good.
I'd say 6 with the Bucks winning.
6. So you think Bucks are going to win 4 in a row?
Yep.
I don't.
I
I think the
don't
Celtics will win the next game at
That's a-
home.
it's a
The
ballsy
Celtics will go up 3-2, and then each team will win at home. The Bucks will win at home. They'll go back to Boston and eventually win. Going to the Raptors and Wizards, who are playing now. Raptors up by 3 at Washington down. Washington is down 2 games to 1, so they need this game to make it 2-2.
It's just
What do you
games
guys
like
think?
it's just a series like this where you know Toronto isn't as good as they thought they were in the regular season. I mean, they were just beating everybody in the regular season, but
Toronto?
you get to the playoffs.
Toronto can't play any good in the playoffs. That's why I'm not confident in them. That's why I said.
That's why this whole year no one has ever really
Yeah, everybody.
believed in Toronto. That's why I believe the Cavs, at the end of the day with LeBron, are going to get back to the finals. They're going to get through this somehow.
What do you guys think? Wizards, Raptors right now? Do you think Raptors will
I think
win?
Raptors-
6 games for Raptors.
Raptors will win this
5
series.
games.
They'll win the series.
I think
but
they'll wrap it up.
I think they're gone. I think they're gone after the next series.
I don't think the Wizards are going to win any more
Well,
games.
the Cavs and Pacers, right? Whoever comes out of that plays the winner of the Raptors and Wizards. I think for some reason that the Raptors will win. Obviously, I believe they will win, but something tells me the Wizards are going to push them to 6-7 games.
I don't think so.
They'll win the Wizards will come back and win today, and then they're going to go 7 games like the Celtics. This playoffs is going to be pretty
Listen,
good.
if it was a boxing match, I would give it to the Wizards, but it's not. So I'm going to give this one to the Raptors, since the Wizards just want to fight every game.
All right, so
This has been one of the most
it's
like
fantastic.
aggressive first
playoffs,
rounds,
right?
like
Yeah.
first rounds ever. Like
we see in the
Lot of
Heat.
aggressive.
The Heat Sixers are also very physical.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
very
it was-
physical.
a lot of technicals. I
I
mean,
like it. I like
It's-
it. I
it's
hope
good to see, yeah.
this plays through the whole playoffs. That'd be
Yes.
nice.
Definitely. And the West, now with the Pelicans sweeping, Golden State on the verge of going on to the next round. They'll be playing each other.
The Pelicans are gonna.
Mm.
They're gonna. I
You have a
really
feeling
do
they're gonna
feel
win?
like the Pelicans could beat the Warriors, just
They'll win.
because I feel like Holiday and Rondo is a good team to stop Curry.
Are they good enough defensively to stop?
I mean, you saw what they did to Damian Lillard.
Who's
Anthony
gonna,
Davis.
but you don't have
What do
one.
we hear about Damian Lillard?
No, you're right. You have one guy, but you're talking about
One guy. No, they have McCollum. What did he do?
So what are they going to do with Durant? Durant's not the same size. Durant can post him up. Durant's
Listen.
not normal.
Durant is the odd factor out. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to stop Durant, but I feel like there's a good chance that the Pelicans are going to be able to beat Golden State.
Ricky Aviles, AD is going to be a problem for Golden State. We agree. And we think AD is playing, man, he's playing lights out right now.
He's the best power forward in the league.
Yeah, he is playing some ball. We like how the Pelicans are playing. But I do think when you look at Golden State overall, they got just so many weapons. And they're a good defensive team. They're just not, when you look at them, you don't say they're a bad defensive team.
It's either going to be the Warriors are going to win in 6 or the Pelicans are going to win in 7.
I'm going Warriors in 6. I'll give the Pelicans 2 games because I think they're on a hot streak right now. So
that's how it's going to go.
I think
Warriors, if they win, they're not going to.
They're winning in 6.
There you go. That's their thoughts. Houston.
I just lost faith because you've seen playoff James Harden come back again.
Yeah,
he just seems to
he's gonna have some.
He just seems to pop out like playoffs. Here we go. James Harden does not need MVP anymore.
Well, what did he do? How did he come back from that game? It's the same thing LeBron had. LeBron had a bad game, came back,
played well, and he lost.
Something.
Played well, but he lost. Sounds like somebody we know.
See that?
Sounds like somebody we know.
Sounds like LeBron.
It's
what do you guys
crazy
think?
because LeBron would never shoot 2 for 18 and win, and his team win the game.
Never. They would lose by 50 points.
They would lose like crazy.
It's nice to have that luxury.
It'd be the worst NBA loss in history if LeBron went 2 for 18.
Yeah.
That's how you could just see
how
how
you know
good
the
the
team is
Rockets
better.
are that
team.
good.
Yeah,
the best player went 2 for 18 and they still won.
Yeah.
Ricky Aviles, we do think that those predictions are with Steph Curry playing.
Yeah, because we believe Steph.
If
is
Steph
coming
Curry
back
isn't
next
playing, then I'm thinking Pelicans at 6.
I think if Curry wasn't back for this next round, I'd probably
you'd lean more
high
towards
on
the
the
Pelicans.
I would lean.
I would lean towards the Pelicans, giving them a 7-game run, because I still think that
so much experience with the Warriors.
Yeah, I think the Warriors.
It's hard.
Have
it's gonna be hard.
A couple
to beat
things.
them,
Warriors have experience, they have defense, and they have scores.
I like a ball.
Even without Curry, they have defense, they have experience, and they got scores. Beyond the big guy.
Kevin Durant makes such a huge difference with this Warriors team. It's unbelievable. Like if he wasn't on Golden State, we'd probably have OKC back in this conversation of winning.
I don't think Golden
NBA
State would win
Finals.
this year if Steph Curry didn't play the rest of the playoffs.
I don't think the Warriors would have won last year if Kevin Durant wasn't on the Warriors. I think LeBron and the Cavs would have won again. Obviously that team was so good they just dominated the Cavs.
Yeah.
I'm saying
makes such a
Curry.
huge difference.
I'm saying Curry without Kevin Durant is a better Golden State than Durant without Curry. I'm saying Curry is the best player on the team. He is the
That's
centerpiece.
Curry's team. This
This
isn't Kevin Durant's team.
if they don't have
The Warriors
Curry,
were good before Kevin Durant got
if they don't have Curry, then that team isn't what we think they are today. They're just a Kevin Durant, Oklahoma
Thunder. They're better.
I think
They're just more
if they
balanced.
added Paul George and had Kevin Durant, not Carmelo Anthony, we'd probably be talking about OKC making it to the finals.
Yeah.
Just think about it like that.
There's no way Paul George would play. You think Paul George would play with Kevin Durant?
Yes. Why wouldn't he give? He was on the Pacers. Why wouldn't he try to give him?
All
The
right,
Pacers were trash. with
So
Paul
the
George.
West is getting interesting. Again, Golden State's up 3-1.
They're going back to the
Pelicans,
finals.
yes, there is a team called the Pelicans in the NBA, John.
New Orleans.
From New Orleans, and they swept.
I feel like they should be
the number 3 seed.
I feel like it should be the New Orleans Jazz.
That probably
and the
made more
Utah
sense.
Pelicans.
The Utah Pelicans.
Right? What is going on there?
Why is the Utah Jazz? I feel like there's more Jazz in New
With
Orleans.
the Utah
What were the
Hornets.
Pelicans before the Pelicans game?
The Pelicans were the Bobcats, I think, right?
No, that
I don't
was
know.
Charlotte.
Were they?
Now they're the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, they were the Hornets. They were the
Were they the New Orleans Hornets?
New Orleans.
They
Hornets.
were because Chris Paul. See, I got
Yeah.
confused. Yep. Chris Paul used to play for the New Orleans Hornets.
Hornets.
Well,
Now they're the Pelicans. Terrible.
let's let's continue. We any other questions around the NBA? Thanks for tuning in. You're tuning in to Family Chat.
We didn't say-
TCN, what's up, man?
We didn't say who would OKC. How we think that series is gonna end.
Yeah, Utah's up 2-1, right? 2-1.
Donovan Mitchell's a
Will Utah?
I think it's
Come
Utah in 7.
Utah in 7.
I like Utah. I like the
It's
way they're
either
playing.
it's either going to be Utah in 7 or OKC in 7.
I think
One of
Westbrook's
those
going to
teams
turn it
should win
around.
7.
I think Westbrook's going to turn it around.
Let's hope to
He's
God.
Mr. Triple Double.
Let's hope to God. he
Let's
takes
see.
it.
We have a few questions from our guys. Merkley, trivia. First pick ever of the Charlotte Hornets. Who was he? He was from UNLV. Larry Johnson, I believe. That's going to be my guess, and I don't have anything in front of me, but that would be my guess.
Charlotte Hornets? No idea. I'm not even going to guess.
These guys are too
Which
young.
I'm going to say Larry
So he's
Johnson.
going to say Larry Johnson.
I'll say
Larry Johnson?
I'll say J.R. Smith.
All right.
Kobe Bryant.
John, you can check and
then he got
tell me
traded
if
to the
I'm
Lakers.
right.
Kobe did get
No,
drafted.
he says no, so it wasn't Larry Johnson. All right.
Kobe Bryant, and then he got traded to the Lakers.
Ricky Aviles. Oh, Rex Chapman, really? He was a shooter. He was. He reminded us. Rex Chapman was like
So shooter back in those
Kentucky.
days.
kind of like
Nothing.
the guy playing with Philly right now that came from Duke. What's his name?
Covington?
No,
Jay
playing with
Redick?
Philly. Reddick. Kind of like Reddick type player. Ricky Aviles. If the Warriors make it to the finals, which team would match up better from the East? Who would match up best with Golden State?
I would say the Sixers because they have shooters and they have big men who could play down low. I mean, when you got Ben Simmons, a
young
guy
legs.
who is 6'11", running the point right now, and then you got J.J. Redick who could shoot the three, Covington who could shoot the three, Saric who could shoot threes and drive to the basket, and then you got Embiid down low who could also shoot threes. The only one who can't shoot threes is Ben Simmons. But
It's amazing.
When you look at the teams stacked up, I mean, you have Fultz, Curry, Thompson, Redick, Simmons, Durant, Green, Saric, Embiid, whoever's playing center
Big
that
guy.
day for McGee or.
Yeah,
they got a nasty team.
I think who obviously has the better team is Golden State, but I think the best team is obviously the Sixers who
Sixers
can
to
line up
match
with
up.
them because
They're my
Simmons is a
prediction.
beast.
They're my prediction to make the finals now. I don't think
Yeah.
the Cavs are gonna
Simmons
make
is a beast. Fultz, if he plays well, is a beast. If they have him coming off the bench or if he's
I
starting,
forgot about Fultz,
He's a
dude. He's
beast.
number one pick.
He's not
Forgot
a
about
beast
Fultz.
yet. He's still getting his feet wet.
he's already had a triple
I
double.
think they're gonna leave him on the
ever.
bench because they need Embiid so bad that they don't want him to break his face again because of rookie mistakes.
Yeah, but it's true. The Sixers are one. They got the legs to keep up with them. They got right as you said. You have the height to defend them, and you have
They're young.
shooters. They
They
got
got young
scorers.
legs.
They're young and they got shooters. The Golden State. If Golden State plays the Sixers, the advantage goes to Golden State just by experience because
Yeah.
then the pressure is elevated to another level for the Sixers. And not that the Sixers can't play. They already showed they're playing in the playoffs and playing very well. But I think when you take it to the finals, the Golden State Warriors would win, and they'd probably win in 5 or 6 games with a healthy Curry.
Yeah, they're my prediction to go to the finals. 76ers, Warriors in 6. I'll get
Still,
I'll give
NBA
the Sixers
playoffs
2.
got to be the longest playoffs.
But you never know.
Ever.
You never know. The Pelicans could surprise. You never know. LeBron
Yeah.
could come back and surprise. You never know.
We will see.
Never.
We will continue this
Never.
NBA playoff conversation next week.
Family chats. Listen, if you like the video, make sure you guys like it, subscribe, comment below, share the video with your uncle who has the bad breath problem, but he will definitely love the video. So make sure you guys share and keep giving us love and, join the family.